So today I'm so happy to share with you the two states of being and where the two states will lead you. The thing that's helped me so much is just having the awareness of which state I'm in, knowing that I'm in one or the other state of being at all times. I'm going to start off with a positive state, and I like to refer to this as a beautiful state or a powerful state of being. The negative would be a suffering state or a primal state. When I'm in a beautiful state, I'm operating from knowledge. And when I'm in a suffering state, I'm operating from ignorance. When I think about knowledge versus ignorance, ignorance is simply not knowing. When I'm operating from a beautiful state or a powerful state, knowledge leads to understanding. And the only way to get knowledge is through study. And when you have understanding, it leads to faith. And when you have faith, it leads to well-being. And if we switch to the other side, when you're operating from ignorance, it leads to worry and doubt. And when you're in worry and doubt, that will lead to fear. And the interesting thing about fear and faith is that they both demand you believe in something you cannot see. So you can see how if you start off on this side with ignorance, worry and doubt, fear, it leads to either fear or faith, and you get to choose. You having the awareness of which side you want to go down, you can switch back to the other side. When you operating from fear, that leads to anxiety as opposed to well-being. When you're operating from anxiety, you tend to suppress it, and that can lead to depression. And depression can lead to disease and ultimately to disintegration. Now, if we take the other side in the powerful or beautiful state, the opposite of anxiety is well-being. Instead of depression on this side, it leads to acceleration. And instead of dis-ease, it leads to at ease and ultimately to growth. So you can see this suffering state or primal state or operating from ignorance leads to worry and doubt, which then leads to fear, which then leads to anxiety, which then leads to disease, which then leads to ultimately disintegration. On this side, beautiful, powerful state, you're operating from knowledge. With some study, knowledge leads to an understanding. I've been told that faith-based understanding leads to freedom. When you're operating from faith, you have well-being. Acceleration leads to at ease and ultimately growth. The key thing for me is that sometimes I'll catch myself and have the awareness that I'm operating from this side and negative. What I've been able to do is get better at shifting over to this other side, this powerful state. So now everything that I do is with the purpose of seeking understanding and getting understanding. And I do that through study, whether it's a mastermind class, whether it's taking online courses or seminars, or I do everything I can to get to this understanding, which then leads to at ease. I recently had an example on one of our development deals. It was a deal that I thought we had all figured out, and some things that were out of our control shifted in this project, which led me some ignorance. I had some worry and doubt about it because we'd invested a lot of time and money in this project, which then led to a little fear and ultimately anxiety. I knew that this was where it was going. And I think for me, what shifted me over to this beautiful state or powerful state is having the awareness of it and then talking about it with the team and getting some knowledge around what's really happening, talking through some different scenarios with the team that help move into this understanding. And once we got an understanding, I was able to shift from worry and doubt. Where we're at now on this project is I have faith that it's going to work out better than it did before. Having the knowledge that you don't have to do it by yourself. You can have other people, whether it's a counselor or a therapist or your team, having the team help gather knowledge and study the different plays that are involved to get an understanding and to get some faith. Once I'm on this side, it tends to move pretty quickly. But what I believe is all things happen for a reason. And I think when I have that understanding that all things happen for a reason, it helps me move over here to the faith that it's going to work out. But sometimes we get trapped in this ignorance, suffering, primal, knowing that this is going to lead to at ease and growth is super, super important. So any feedback and comments, I would love to hear how you shift over to this beautiful, powerful state.